Welcome to Meeting the Needs of Diverse Learners. This video will introduce you to the instructor, myself, explain the purpose of the course, the idea of praxis, and how it fits into theories that you will learn in this course. The assessments within this course, and lastly, a quick overview of the spirit of each module. My name is David Hernandez-Saca, or you can call me David Hernandez-Saca. I am an associate professor of disability studies in education at the University of Northern Iowa since the fall of 2016 in the Department of Special Education. I am a former 8th through 12th grade multi-subject teacher, and my teaching responsibilities include the interdisciplinary study of disability to educational psychologists, school psychologists, and creating and sustaining positive, inclusive learning environments in K through 12 education from an interdisciplinary and intersectional disability studies in education approach. My overall research agenda is problematizing the common sense assumptions of learning disabilities and co-constructing inclusive policies and practices in education for all. I do this through 3 lines of inquiry. The emotional impact of learning disability labeling on conceptions of self, the role of emotion and affect in teacher education or teacher learning about social justice issues, and examining violence within the academy against historically multiply marginalized and non-hegemonic scholars at their intersections of power and identities for their well-being and healing. For your first assignment, you will do an initial teaching reflection paper that will also serve as your introduction to yourself, similar to the way I did to me. Within this course, we have set it up through what you'll learn about, which is called Universal Design for Learning. And so we wanted to give everyone a chance to express themselves and critically think and feel, to show your understanding and reflection and critical thinking through multiple means as opposed to one way. So for example, for this initial reflection paper, you can submit it as a PowerPoint or a Prezi or a Canva, or you can create a brochure, a poster, a collage, or an infographic. You can videotape yourself, just like I'm videotaping myself. You can do a one-pager, and as you navigate through the course, you'll see blue underlined, just like this one here, text, and that indicates that it's a hyperlink. So you can go ahead and click on that and learn more about that topic. You can do an essay, for example, a traditional essay. So for the one pager, I will go deeper in what that means in our next video, but basically it would still have the content that we have set up for you, but just in one page. And it could be um, through drawing, through writing, but you would just have one page for your creative expression regarding the prompt or questions. So you could do any of these options in addition to doing a more of a visual option that would include, like, for example, a one pager or a poster or a collage. And for that one pager, we would, in addition to answering the questions or the prompt, we would ask you to have a minimum of 3 images that connects to the reading, a 3 to 5 carefully chosen words that highlight the main ideas or concepts in the reading or in the prompts, and 2 meaningful quotes for the reading. Now, what I just went over, you will, as you'll see in my next video, you will have a chance to submit your reflection journals in any of these formats. However, for the initial teaching reflection, these are the questions that you will do within the first module. You'll introduce yourself. Please include general information such as hometown, current year at UNI, a major, a minor that you might be taking, or any extracurricular activities that you do, job responsibilities, or hobbies. Why did you choose to be a teacher? What values do you hold that inform your teaching? Describe your ideal classroom. Who are your students? What does your classroom look like, sound like? How do you teach? What are you most concerned about as you think about becoming a teacher? What are you most excited about becoming a teacher? What are some additional questions or ideas you have for exploring beyond the above questions? So before I go on, the initial reflection paper is really, and I'll go more in depth in the next video, but it's a pre-survey of how you're coming into the course regarding your beliefs, your values. And this initial question about introducing yourself is providing me as your instructor a little bit more about who you are. The purpose of this course is to develop your skills, knowledge, awareness, and dispositions that will prepare you to educate the broad diversity of students you will or are encountering already in the general education classroom or other educational settings. The goals for this course are twofold. First, we will explore who are considered to be diverse learners. We will examine issues centering on race, social class, sexual orientation, gender identity, and ability and disability. Questions pertaining to these issues will be analyzed through a variety of historical, sociological, and political frameworks. Second, we will investigate pedagogical frameworks and teaching methodology that serve to promote and facilitate inclusive education. The entire course is designed for you to engage with theory, action and practice, and reflection. This is also called praxis. Praxis is a process-oriented framework or pedagogical framework to educational practices that serves as a schema or a heuristic or a mental map or tool to engage in critical thinking and feeling about our actions. And this is something that is recursive, ongoing in the development of new praxis. So as you see the two images on the screen, praxis entails theory, which could be Vygotsky or behavioralism or social cultural learning theory, which would inform your actions and interactions with your students, with yourself, with your colleagues, for example. And this leads to reflection, and it's a bi-directional relationship between your theory, action, and reflection, where it's ongoing. So the image on the right, you can see that these don't exist in a vacuum. Our thinking, our reflection about our thinking or our actions that we commit to do are all interconnected. And within the course, we talk about this as praxis. I alluded to before that the course is designed from a universal design for learning framework. As part of the course, we have been mindful developing the course through this framework. This framework includes the why of learning, which is the emotional or affective aspects of learning, the what of learning, which connects to the recognition of information or knowledge, and the how of learning regarding the action and expression that learners such as yourselves or teachers or your students, given the science behind the UDL framework, which is neuroscience, is the theory. So the why is connected to engagement, the purposeful, motivated aspects that students will have. So it stimulates interests and motivation for learning. The representation has to do with the resources, being resourceful, knowledgeable learners that present information and content in different ways. And action and expression, which would help students be strategic, goal-directed learners. And we would be able to differentiate the ways that students can express what they know. So as I will talk further, you will be able to see how we were mindful in designing this course regarding these three principles of multiple means of engagement, multiple means of representation, and multiple means of action and expression. This course has 5 major assignments that all are intended to work together to help you engage in critical thinking and feeling about the major topics in the course within and across the modules. These include that introduction, initial reflection paper that I mentioned before, and then a final reflection. The initial reflection paper is intended to be a pre-survey of what you're coming to the class with, and the final reflection is intended to take what you learned throughout the course and apply it to the final reflection paper that has you revisit your initial paper that we've talked about before, but also take one or a couple of constructs or key ideas and see how you can apply them to your ongoing teaching philosophy and reflection after taking this course. There are 2 inclusive teaching evaluations that you will be doing as well, that will ask you to reflect on a series of questions about inclusive teaching practices and preventing and ending bullying in schools. Finally, throughout the modules, you will do reflexive learning journal entries, 1 per module, regarding the content of each module and or the readings. Within the next video, I will go into further detail about the what, how, and why you will be engaging in these journal entries. The next several slides are an introduction to the spirit of each module. Module 1, the myth of normal and the social construction of difference. In this module, we will define and explore the social and the medical model of disability and other models of disability, such as the psycho-emotional disableism model and the intersectional disableism model of disability. Module 2, the historical context of difference. In this module, we will identify, explore, summarize, and the major social movements, including the eugenics movement, the institutionalization, and civil rights movements. We will examine how these social movements changed the unequal treatment and discrimination of marginalized individuals. Module 3, the legal context of education. In this module, we will identify and describe the major legal rulings and laws providing guidance for educating students with disabilities. American with Disabilities Act, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, and individualized education programs or plans. Module 4, Cultures of Schooling. In this module, we will discuss how race, gender, disability, and sexuality and other identity markers are interpreted and represented within cultural institutions such as schools. You will analyze your own values about ability and disability and about competence. Last, you will identify how schools include and exclude certain students and about the role of schools and other teaching and learning situations in fostering inquiry. Module 5, Inclusive Pedagogies and Communities. In this module, you will identify, describe, evaluate inclusive pedagogies, including universal design for learning, differentiated instruction, and assistive technology. Module 6, Communication and Collaboration. In this module, you will discuss strategies for creating positive classroom climates. We will critique traditional models of classroom management and analyze alternate practices. In addition, we will discuss and describe instructional resources to ensure students' lived experiences are reflected in the classroom and curriculum. Gracias. Thank you.